Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Life is a game of balance. Every step we take is a wager, every decision a gamble with time, trust, or fortune. And so, through centuries of lived experience, one piece of wisdom has echoed again and again. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Simple, homely, almost humble in its imagery, yet behind it lies a lesson powerful enough to guide farmers, merchants, kings, and investors alike. It is a proverb about caution, resilience, and the fragile nature of the things we value most. To understand this phrase, we must go back to the marketplaces of the ancient world. Picture the farmer's wife in a dusty village, walking down a rutted road with a woven basket in hand. Inside are eggs gathered at dawn, fragile shells carrying food, income, perhaps even survival. One misstep, one stumble, and the basket tumbles, shattering every egg in an instant. The image was so vivid, so universal, that it became an early metaphor for risk. The ancients may not have written it exactly as we say it today, but the lesson was already alive. In China, farmers warned not to balance a whole harvest on one cart. In Greece, philosophers spoke of the folly of entrusting one's wealth to a single fortune. Even in Rome, writers hinted that scattering resources was the way to preserve them. Long before the English idiom was coined, people everywhere recognized this timeless truth. A single vessel cannot carry all our hopes safely. The phrase itself appears in early modern Europe. Some scholars trace it back to the Spanish writer Cervantes, author of Don Quixote. In one of his works, a character warns, "It is the part of a wise man to keep himself today for tomorrow, and not venture all his eggs in one basket." By the 17th century, English writers had borrowed the phrase, and it began to appear in speeches, sermons, and advice manuals. Merchants used it when discussing trade routes. To sail only one ship was to risk ruin in a single storm. Financiers used it when warning about money. One gamble could mean either riches or beggary. By the 19th century, it had become a common proverb, recognized and repeated across English-speaking lands. What began as a farmer's warning about eggs had transformed into a philosophy of life. At first glance, the idiom is about practicality. Do not risk all your goods, for a single failure could destroy them. But beneath that surface lies a deeper wisdom. It is about balance, yes, but also about humility. It reminds us that nothing in life is certain, no plan too strong, no vessel too safe. Imagine investing all your savings in one company, all your faith in one friend, all your energy in a single dream. If the basket is dropped, if the friend betrays, if the dream fails, if the venture collapses, all is lost at once. The idiom is not about fear, but about preparation. It whispers, diversify your trust, spread your hope, build resilience so that one fall does not undo a lifetime's effort. Every culture has felt this truth. The Chinese proverb warns, do not use one chopstick to carry the whole pot. In Italian, the saying is nearly identical to our own, a reminder not to gather every treasure in one place. In Africa, elders sometimes tell children, do not follow one path only, or you may find yourself lost. Though the imagery shifts, baskets, pots, paths, the lesson is always the same. Human life is unpredictable. The earth shakes, storms break, fortunes turn. And across oceans and centuries, people have known that survival belongs to those who scatter their chances wisely. Today, the proverb thrives in new settings. In business schools, it becomes investment strategy. Financial advisors warn clients to spread money across stocks, bonds, and savings, a diversified portfolio. The wisdom of the egg basket has become the language of Wall Street. In careers, too, the idiom finds a home. Students are taught not to rely on a single skill. Workers are reminded to grow multiple talents, so if one door closes, another may open. Even in love, the proverb echoes quietly. It warns not against devotion, but against recklessness. To pour all of oneself into a fragile attachment is to risk heartbreak that leaves nothing behind. And in our digital age, the lesson may be more relevant than ever. Do we store all our files in one place? Do we depend on one source of income? Do we rest our identity entirely on one platform, one job, one dream? The idiom stands at our side, urging caution in a world that changes overnight. Why has this phrase lasted when so many others fade into obscurity? Because its imagery is universal. Every culture knows the fragility of eggs, the danger of trust concentrated in one vessel. And because its wisdom is eternal, life is uncertain and resilience requires balance. More than that, it survives because it teaches us to be both brave and careful. To take risks, yes, but never to risk everything at once. To dream boldly, but to plant seeds in more than one field. It is advice that belongs not just to merchants or farmers, but to every human heart navigating the hazards of existence. So the next time you gather your hopes, your dreams, your fragile treasures, remember the farmer's basket. One stumble can scatter all. But if you have many baskets, many paths, many chances, then even when one breaks, the others remain. This, dear listener, is why the proverb endures. If you found wisdom in these words, let them guide your own journey, steady, balanced, resilient. And if you'd like to hear more stories, more lessons hidden in the language we speak, please like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Way of Words, for here language lives and wisdom lingers.